In the mud and misery of World War I, countless young men were shaped by what they saw in trenches. But among them was one who would later reshape history itself, Adolf Hitler. Before he became a dictator of Nazi Germany, he was just another German soldier. And in October 1918, in the final days of the war, he was blinded in a gas attack, here near the town of Ypres in Belgium.
Hitler served as a corporal in the 16th Bavarian Reserve Infantry Regiment. He was a messenger, a dangerous job that required him to run between trenches and command posts under fire. He was wounded in 1916 at the Somme, but he returned to the front. By 1918, as the war dragged into its fourth bloody year, Hitler was stationed once again near Ypres, a town that had already become a symbol of devastation.
Ypres was infamous for one thing, and that was gas. In April 1915, it was the site of the first large-scale poisonous gas attack in history, when the German forces released chlorine gas against Allied troops. From that moment on, gas warfare became a terrifying and frequent part of trench life. Mustard gas, silent, deadly and capable of lingering for days, caused blindness, burns and slow, painful deaths. It didn't just kill, it broke men completely.
On October 14, 1918, just weeks before the armistice, a British gas shell struck near Hitler's position. He was temporarily blinded, possibly by mustard gas. He stumbled, disoriented, and was evacuated behind the lines. It happened somewhere probably on the east side of Ypres. No one actually knows specifically where. They think it was near the village of Wervik. According to later accounts, he was hospitalized in Pasewalk, Germany, and spent days in darkness, both physically and emotionally. Some records suggest he may have believed the injury signaled a divine calling. Others say he simply fell deeper into rage and bitterness over Germany's collapse.
Hitler was still recovering in a hospital when he learned that Germany had surrendered. The shock of defeat, combined with the trauma of war and his gas injuries, deeply affected him.
In later speeches and writing, he spoke of Germany's betrayal, the stab in the back myth, and his hatred of the Treaty of Versailles. Narratives that helped fuel the rise of Nazism. Some historians believe his gas blinding marked a turning point, a physical and symbolic moment when a soldier became a radical.
The irony is chilling. Hitler, a man who was once blinded by gas in the battlefield here in Ypres, would later authorize the use of poison gas on millions of innocent civilians during the Holocaust. What he once suffered, he would later unleash on others, but not in war, but in genocide. The trauma of Ypres did not end in the trenches. It aggroed into history. And the irony as well is that Hitler didn't want to use poisonous gas during the war because he suffered from it himself during the First World War. But he did it on millions of innocent civilians during the Holocaust. Today, the fields around Ypres are quiet, but the ground still remembers. In 1918, a gas shell temporarily blinded a corporal named Hitler. The world, which would spend the next decades reeling from what that moment helped to create. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video about the gas attack on Adolf Hitler during the First World War. I only shot it here in the town city center because we are not 100% sure where actually he was gassed during the First World War around Ypres. They think it was around Wervik, but they are not entirely sure. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to support my my channel, I have a Patreon. I'll put the link in the description so you can support me there. And yeah, we got the cloth hall behind us. This is the last part of the video. So we'll close it with that one. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Salute.